evolution of the gaming industry right here.
You know, when you think about gaming growing up, it was the fat kid that would just sit inside and play on the, like, sit in front of the TV. But now you have interactive gaming where you can get in shape by playing games. And that makes sense. I told Thomas, and Jose, you probably heard this too. Back in the day, I played a game called Halo.
Oh, yeah.
Halo was on, I had the Xbox back then.
Me
and
too.
my rule back then, and my bedroom was underneath my workout room, so my wife would hear me because I'd start playing the game like at 12 at night and go all the way. But my rule was I had to ride the exercise bike while I was playing Halo.
Nice.
So it was funny.
Nice.
So when I started being chased, I would pedal faster, even though it had nothing to do with the game. But I was in really good shape, so I made myself work out to play the game. But now you're going to have to work out to play the games because if not, you're going to get killed too easy on the game.
One thing that did stand out too, that I don't know, I just never had thought of this, but listening to a lot of the CEOs of these different companies speak, and some of the producers at Hollywood, they are bringing influencers out now and allowing them to stream from the TV set. They're bringing them into these companies and allowing them to stream to their audiences. And that's how these movies, they clearly said it, that's how these movies go through these huge ticket sales prior, as the movie's coming out, because they let these streamers are coming in, and I thought that was very, very interesting.
You have to build the excitement because back in the day, they would wait maybe 6 months before a movie would come out. You started hearing about it, then you started seeing advertisements on TV, but it would be like a 6-month runway into the movie. Nowadays, the movies don't even go to this theater a lot of times. They come right to Netflix or Amazon or something like that. So everything's changing, and influencers are becoming a big part of that.
Oh, big part. I was very impressed with that. One word I'll drop in there for you is agentic AI. It's something that you probably want to get to know better. That's going to probably be a $1 trillion industry before you know it, and that's something to really explore. Find companies that are focused on agentic type of AI. That's going to be your autonomous type AI, and that's going to be the big thing here down the road.
So AI without you having to be around, I guess.
That's
right?
exactly
without
it.
You having to pilot it. Okay.
The self-driving car, for example, would be agentic AI.
Okay. What about, that's what we always hear about, self-driving car. What else could we, what other, you think it'd be self-driving planes down the road?
Oh, boy.
You get on a plane, there's no pilot up there?
I'm sure that'll eventually be the case. I don't want to be that first few guys that get in there and,
Anything else that excited you during the show?
I just going through and just seeing the technology, seeing the massage chairs, that was pretty exciting because now they've got them where they'll stretch your whole body out, and so that was pretty nice. Really, just being overwhelmed is probably the word. You can only see so many things before your brain's like, bleh.
Oh yeah.
But there was so many cool things. There was a couple, I'll tell you something that I saw that was really interesting, and you may have seen these before and you may not. They had crafts there that are full size, and you can put 1 or 2 people in and fly them around. It's a giant drone that you can fly your body around in. Like I could get in, I could buy this thing, get in it here at my house and fly on the other side of town to my buddy's house. And
that would come in handy in New York City where they have a lot of traffic, wouldn't it? You just fly over the traffic.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. When I was looking, I was like, wow, either I'm behind on my knowledge here or this is new. And so
do you get in it like I remember Orville and Wilbur Wright, they get in there like
pretty much.
Like Superman. Is that what you need? Is it big enough? It's a big drone then. It's a big
drone. It's got big blades on it, and I'm sure it has some limitations, but you can literally get in this thing and fly over to your buddy's house.
Got to make sure you don't cut somebody's head off with those blades too, right?
Oh yeah. Them blades were no joke. They were huge.
What is it? Battery powered, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, did it have new battery technology coming out? Did you see anything like that? Because that's always a big thing. Sodium batteries.
I didn't see very much on that. I'm sure it was there because obviously the battery is powering all of our stuff. We want better and better. Jackery had some great solar batteries there. They had a huge gazebo design that you can buy and put in your backyard. At the same time, it's a whole charging station. So that was kind of cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
So How did they have the show? I know you said it was spread out all amongst a bunch of different hotels and the conference, whatever they call it, the convention center. How they have the booths divided? Did they have them in different sections? Like you went to Tomorrow World over here, and you went to sort of like Disney. You had different places, or
yes, they had it customized by theme, and so you could see some of the cars here. You could see some of the health and nutrition things. Oh, that's another thing I saw. I saw this one workout gym. It's called Monster Gym, I believe was the name of Gym Monster. That's the name of it.
Okay.
And this is the granddaddy of home fitness. It's a very small thing that you can literally fold up, but it's got the technology built into it. It's like having 200-300 pound weights that you can bench press, you can do all kinds of stuff, and this whole thing just folds out, and it was made really, really well. I was like, wow. But when you're done, you just literally fold it up, and it's like hardly
That's amazing.
anything.
So what innovation made you say, why hasn't this existed before?
I would say the drone was probably that. I was like, wow, I'm surprised it's kind of taken this long, because drones has been out for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
And and again, I may just be behind in that area, but when I saw that, I was just like, wow. The gaming, I'll tell you, the gaming came a long, long way. Just seeing those people in the full gear. I can't remember the name of what you call that, but just seeing the folks in the VR glasses and the suits, and then watching them play the game on the TV, it was just amazing.
All right, 2 more points, and then I'll let you go. But, I mean, your phone, I've always told Thomas, there's going to come a time where we're not carrying our phone around all the time. I mean, it's a burden a lot. But I have my credit cards in here, too, so this is my wallet, basically. But, yeah. I mean, is there going to come a time where you don't have to have a phone, but you can still have all the functionality you have with the phone right now?
I think so. I think eventually you're going to have some type of futuristic device that, whether that's a band you put around your wrist, and it has a small projection that when you hit the button, it kind of pops up, and you got everything kind of almost in the air. Yep. I did see a phone there, though, that was really, really amazing. It was a very, very thin phone that it was like a trifold. It folded out, and it was the size of an iPad. And it was big, but then when you folded it back up, it was basically like this iPhone I got right here. That was really interesting. Samsung, it was one of their brands, and it was pretty much brand new. So eventually you'll probably see that hit the market at some point.
Because all these companies are trying to come out with the thing that replaces the phone, right? So but I guess it's a ways down the road. Now, if this wasn't your first trade show, you've been to CES before, right? Yeah. How do you compare this to others?
Well, it'd been a while since I had been, and this one just it seemed to have a lot more action. You just saw a lot more people. There were a lot more gadgets, and just I think the thing that I believe really made the difference was the panelists that they had pulled together, and I'm sure they're going to keep doing this more and more in the future, and that was really impressive.
So did you go to some of the speeches?
Yeah, it was like I went to a conference. I went to a conference, and I went to a trade show.
What was your favorite speaker? Who was your favorite speaker?
It was a panelist that basically was speaking on the future of the coaching and digital marketing industry. And it was a combination of you had a guy there from Twitch. You had a guy. One of them was a Hollywood producer. Substack had a big presence there. I don't know if you know what Substack is. It's like YouTube, except you own your own stuff. And so that was probably some of the highlight of the speaking and panelist. Yeah.
I've told my staff we need to have a Substack page, but it never happens.
Yeah,
so I guess I'm going to do it again. Thomas is getting worried. I see him over there.
I was very impressed. The owner of Substack was there, and he was talking about where they're at, where they're going, and just how they work with the people that's on their site. So definitely check that out.
So you say this year's like just more bigger, more faster, more better.
Yeah.
It sounds like just everything, that the excitement level seems to be higher.
I think the excitement level was super high because AI was just everywhere.
And if you could just put yourself back in those couple days, you were there for 2 or 3 days probably. What was the most exciting moment that you had? Where you just felt excited about the future?
Oh, that's when I won. I pulled the handle, and all of a sudden, this big thing started flashing. It said I won.
Oh yeah, How much did you win? How much did you win? Win a lot.
Well, I'd say
for IRS purposes, we'll keep it under 10,000.
Yeah, we'll keep it under 10,000. But I would say probably the biggest thing was leaving the show. I felt like I had a new perspective on what AI is really going to become down the road. And it got me really fired up. I'm thinking about going back and taking some classes at MIT on Agentech and on some of that AI so that I can better incorporate it into my business and so forth. So very excited about it.
Well, here's one thing I just forgot. I said it was my last question, but I got one more here. But blockchain, we've heard so much about blockchain over the years.
Yeah.
Were there any blockchain type companies there showing you what the future is going to be in blockchain?
Yes. There was some companies there illustrating, some of their stuff and blockchain. Absolutely. And blockchain is going to continue to emerge, especially with quantum computer. And you put blockchains and quantum computers together, that's going to be a huge deal, especially when we have access to it.
Yeah, I really think that's the future of voting. If we can perfect the voter ID, then if people vote on the blockchain, there'll be no more cheating anymore.
That's exactly right.
And so that's the way to go. One final thing: your favorite restaurant while in Vegas?
My favorite restaurants, believe it or not, it was just Gordon Ramsay's Burger Bar at the Planet Hollywood.
I've heard good things about that, actually. He's got some of his other places, like Hell's Kitchen is good, but it's expensive and it's a long wait. But the Burger Bar is good. The best steakhouse I've ever been to there is the Golden Steer.
Oh, yeah.
Golden Steer.
Yeah,
it's featured in the movie Casino.
Yeah.
It's one of the old-timey ones, but it's one of the best steaks ever. So just keep that in mind. You've probably been there before.
Yeah.
All right. His name is Joe Casey, and he's one of the guys that I like to talk to when we talk about tech and also investing. Joe, thanks for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Coach Pete. Love it. Look forward to seeing you again soon and hanging out with you anytime, man. Call me anytime.
Hey, if people wanted to contact you, how could they do that?
They could simply just go to catalystwealthcoaching.com and you'll find all my information right there.
There you go. Thanks a lot, Joe. Take care. We'll look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hey, I'm Coach Pete D'Arruda, president of Capital Financial. Folks, the financial world is very, very confusing. That's why we put together a series of educational videos called webinars. You can see them at any time by signing up at CoachPete.com. We'll see you there. This is a Little Green Book of Life. It's on Amazon. I've had it out for years. It's 100 pages. It's interactive, though, where it asks you estate planning questions. It asks you where your money is, where your life insurance is, what's the phone number of the life insurance company. The problem is my father passed away this year, and this came in handy because he actually did fill some of this out before he passed away. When you pass away, people don't know. Like, you have these secrets. Well, what's my Facebook passcode? You can put it all in here. So when you pass away, nobody wants to even think about it, but you can even write your own obituary in here. So now it makes it a whole lot simpler when you pass away. The next of kin could be all taken
so
care of.
important.
Little Green Book of Life.
Especially now with crypto assets and everything. I mean,
Yes.
I've often said that, at least with my wife and I, if we know each other's cell phone password, we could probably do it, because then she gets Bill's email that I don't know about. I get stuff email she doesn't know about. But the passcode, at least you could go in and change passwords to different accounts if you had to. So I think that's critical. But I mean, think about all these people who own Bitcoin or things like that, and they're going to die. And if you don't have that exact code, it's gone. In fact, I think about 10 or 15% of Bitcoin, it's already been lost.
Well, the story the other day, the guy finally gave up. He was going to the dump. His wife threw away his computer. She was doing spring cleaning, and on his computer had his Bitcoin codes. And he searched the dump for over 10 years looking for it, because it was worth like $1 billion, and he never found it.
If you were a farmer, and I've used this analogy before, and you had a field, and you're out in your field, you're planting corn seeds that day, and you look into the entrance of the farm, you see a big dust cloud coming, and it's 3 big SUVs pulling up into your yard, and they get out of the farmhouse, and 3 guys get out of each one of those with sunglasses on, looking like Men in Black. And they say, Mr. Farmer, we're going to give you a choice today, and this is going to be a lifetime choice, and you better think about it. And they say, we're either going to tax you today on the corn, there's little corn niblets you're putting in the ground. We're going to tax you on that little bag of corn niblets, and we're going to leave forever. Or we're going to not tax you today. You don't have to pay tax today, Mr. Farmer. You get a great day. You're not going to pay tax. But we're going to be back every single year that you harvest and tax you on every ear of corn forever. As the farmer, which one would you take? Well, you know what the average American is doing? They're saying, oh, thanks for the choice, Mr. IRS. We would gladly not pay taxes today. We'll see you every single harvest season forever. And then we'll also see you on our harvest when we die. So, no. The answer is no. Don't use those tax-deferred accounts all the time, or don't get addicted to them, because there are better choices out there.
So let's talk about healthcare, because between healthcare, Medicare, and healthcare long-term care, there's a lot of risk for seniors because, you know, every person I know now, I play a lot of golf with a lot of seniors.
You do a great job playing golf, by the way.
Everybody's got a condition or a situation.
Yeah. Well, it happens. And so one thing we can't plan for is the unexpected. But we have to have money put aside for those unplanned events, called emergency account or whatever, or liquid money. And so if you lock all your money away, if you're putting it all in these stocks that you're hoping are going to one day go way up and they're not, you feel like you're captive to your investments. Like I've talked to a lot of millionaires, but they have all their money tied up. They don't feel like they're millionaires at all. So it's about having financial freedom. And if you set your portfolio up the right way, Tom, like you've done, you can feel financial freedom. I can tell by looking at you, you feel financial free.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk.
Right.
And I'm out there every day and play golf 4 to 5 days a week.
I see you.
Pickleball 2 days a week. I mean, I'm taking it serious. My wife and I are going on Viking cruise from Budapest to Amsterdam. That's what retirement's supposed to be about.
Having fun.
Is having fun. And that's what I'm doing.
Welcome back into our series on the big book on retirement. I'm Thomas Lipscomb, again here with you alongside the best-selling author himself, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Chapter 4, if you have your book in front of you, you already know what I'm going to say, but it is prioritize training and conditioning. This is a good one, Coach. Yeah. So prioritize training and conditioning. When I think about this, I think working out and getting myself in better shape than I am right now.
Getting your body in shape, but get your mind in shape and make sure your plan's in shape.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so same kind of concept. I mean, you can tell if you ever watch a sporting event, some teams look more prepared than others.
It's true. So that's a good thing. Now, preparing for a sport, you may run, you may do some cardio, then you may want to work on your
lift weights, these kind of things.
What about retirement? You've got top 10 ways to prepare for retirement here. So this is basically that training regimen for retirement.
Yeah, and one is to familiarize yourself with your Social Security benefits, or have a planner who can tell you the best options to take. Medicare supplements. These kind of got to line those up, because once you're 65, you're off health insurance now, you're on Medicare.
There you go.
And so if you can't afford Medicare, the state has a program called Medicaid. And we've heard some people brag about how they had some advisor talked them into spending down all their money. In other words, giving their money away, retitling it in their kids' names or whatever, getting themselves down. It looks like they don't have much money, so they can go qualify for Medicaid, which the state takes care of you. The problem, there's a lot of problems here. If you do that, the government can go back 5 years and saw you move money on purpose. You can get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
And do you really want the government to decide where they're going to put you? If you're on Medicaid, you have no control about what facilities you go to. And they're not going to be, many times they're not going to be the best.
Right.
But if it's better for folks that don't have any other option, it's good, but it shouldn't be abused. Let's say you retitle all your assets in your son's name, and he decides to get married. So now half the assets are belonging to his wife now, your daughter-in-law. Let's say they get a divorce and she leaves, half your money goes with her.
Oh, no.
So be very careful. Or let's say leave it all in your son's name and he's driving down, let's say, Highway 40, and he's not paying attention. He rear-ends somebody and kills somebody. They could sue him for all the money he has, which is your money. It's all gone.
That's true.
So be very careful about trying to play these games. But that's just one thing. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, what else we have?
So there's a lot going on here. And I think the main one that I want to focus on is actually the very last one, and that's ask the right questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of people are afraid to ask questions to begin with. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask for the answers in writing, by the way.
Good.
We give all our answers in writing, because someone can say anything, and then they can deny they said anything if you don't have it in writing.
Yes.
So make sure you get it in writing. It shouldn't be confrontational anyway. We are here to help you. We want to make sure that you have the best retirement possible, and any planner should do that too. So every decision we make is in your favor. That's the definition in my mind of a fiduciary.
Yes.
Always doing what's best for you. If we benefit, so we explain when we benefit, but we can't take commissions out of your money, number one, as a fiduciary. So if you have somebody taking commissions out of your money, they're not a real fiduciary.
Yeah, I love that.
So again, the more money you can keep for yourself, the more money you're going to have later, and the more you can understand fees and commissions and eliminate those. We call those financial termites. You're in control now instead of the termites.
Yeah, that's great.
We do it all for you, and we explain it in the book, and then we can explain it in person if you'd like to meet with a planning team at no cost. The information's on your bookmark, or you can see the number on the screen.
It's amazing that you do it at no cost because there's so much value behind this. But folks, make sure you are asking the right questions. I think as you've head through the first few chapters of this book, you'll see that it's all about preparing, conditioning, getting that plan in place, and we're going to get into even more detail later on. But make sure you're asking the right questions. Contact Coach Pete and the team today. You see the numbers and information on your screen. Get that total retirement income plan.
We say be prepared, not surprised. Just be careful of where you put your money. Make sure not to put all your money in one place.
Yeah.
Pick out 20 that you really like. Make sure they're not meme coins unless you're going to actively watch that and get in low and get out quick in a matter of hours or seconds.
That's good, yeah.
I like long-term holding. I like Bitcoin. I like Ethereum. I like, I like Solana, and I like Ripple, and I also like Nano, and I like T7X, and there's a couple other ones out there. There's some good ones out there. So, but you need to find what you like. This isn't investment advice. You pick what you want, but I'm just saying pick strong ones. Pick ones that aren't overly feeing you. That's one thing I don't like about Bitcoin and Ethereum is the gas fee, the transactional fee. I think eventually, they've done a good job of getting us to this location here we are in the crypto world. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum will always be here, but I think there'll be other coins that come up that people start trusting and believing in that are a lot cheaper to use to transact with. Hey, I'm Coach Pete D'Arruda, president of Capital Financial. Folks, the financial world is very, very confusing. That's why we put together a series of educational videos called webinars. You can see them at any time by signing up at CoachPete.com. We'll see you there.
Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us here on our info series, Women and Money. I've got Miss Jana, Miss Amanda,
Hi.
I'm Jackie, and Coach Pete.